Welcome back, Year 10. Here we go again. So this is the last lesson. It's a nice short lesson. There's lots of independent work. Not too much of me talking. You'll be glad to hear. So I haven't amended this PowerPoint too much, so I apologise. It doesn't really follow the other format. So here we go. Today we're looking at metabolism. That's how our liver, in particular, metabolizes products. So, metabolism in the liver. So, first of all, just a quick quiz, 1 to 5 in the margin. Just quickly go down, pause the slide now, and answer the following questions. So, question 1. Define anaerobic respiration. That is respiration without oxygen. Question number 2. Write down the word equation for aerobic respiration. Question number 3. Write down the word equation for anaerobic respiration. So that is glucose giving me lactic acid equals lactic acid plus energy. Describe the effect of exercise on the heart rate of a fit person. Well, it increases the heart rate of a fit person. Breathing rate of a fit person. It increases the breathing rate of a fit person. And glycogen is stored in the liver. Describe how it is the glycogen can be provided to glucose to respiring cells. So you need to talk about the fact that it is transported by the blood or the circulatory system. So we're going to watch the video, but before you watch the video, I suggest you write down these 5 questions. Okay. So that you've got them and you can answer them. Leave a couple of lines between each one. I have cut and pasted the video into the Show My Homework active bar. It's the second link down, so you know how to access it. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the liver. Now, I find the liver absolutely fascinating, and what the liver is a totally unique organism. It is the largest internal organism within the body. It spans from one side of your body to the other. It is huge. It's the most metabolically complex organism. It carries out a whole variety of functions that if they don't get carried out, basically we cannot survive. We cannot live. Right? It's the only organ in the body that can regenerate itself. So you can donate part of your liver to another person, and within 3 months that liver totally regenerates itself, and then at that point both people could then donate part of their liver again. It is a very fascinating piece of tissue because it's the only part of your body that totally regenerates. Then it carries out over 500 different jobs. Now, I'm not going to read each of these out, but essentially you don't need to know all 500, but you need to know it has a crucial role in fighting infection. It has a really important role in neutralising toxins, in particular alcohol. And those of you recall back to B1, we talk about alcohol quite a lot. It also manufactures proteins and hormones. It works in synchronisation with our pancreas to control blood sugar during the homeostasis. It assists with the clotting of blood, and it breaks down the products in the blood that we no longer need so they can be excreted by the kidneys. And it also breaks down old red blood cells that are no longer being used so that we can reuse the hemoglobin to make more hemoglobin in our red blood cells. It also, for the purposes of today's lesson, talks about breaking down lactic acid. It contains 10% of the blood within your body. It's quite a dense organ, okay, and it blood pumps through it about 1.4 litres per minute. So it's quite vascular, okay. Some people might consume liver. You might have liver as a meal because lots of people believe it is really, really nutritious. I'm sure it is nutritious, but being vegetarian doesn't really do it for me. So, how does the liver remove lactic acid from our body? Now, we'll see that on the right-hand side of the screen, you've got the hepatic vein carrying the hepatic artery, which brings oxygenated blood to the liver. And what we've got there is the lactic acid returning to the liver as a waste product from anaerobic respiration. Now, once it gets to the liver, it can then be converted into glucose. That aerobic respiration can break the glucose down into carbon dioxide and water. So with the tissues within the liver are actually physically breaking down the lactic acid. Once all the lactic acid is broken down, the carbon dioxide is transported in the plasma, so is the water transported in the plasma. Excess water is removed via the kidneys, and CO2 is then transported to the lungs, where it leaves via alveoli. The liver converts glucose that isn't back to glucose, and if we don't need it, it then stores it as glycogen until we need it in the future. If we don't use that glycogen, our body then stores it as fat. So today I thought I'd ease off the SAM learning because, to be honest, I'm a bit bored of keep setting it, but I know some people really find it easy to use, but also it has a really strong evidence base that shows that if you use it lots, you increase your grade. So what I want you to do is you can do this as a poster, you can do this as just a set of text writing, but I want you to follow out these 4 questions. And I will then grade it and upload the grades onto Show My Homework. So you can do it as a poster, you can do it as continuous text, you can do it as a leaflet, you can do it in whatever format you want. If you're doing it in your book, absolutely fantastic. Just snap a couple of pictures on your phone and email it to me at arigoletto@noelacademy.org, because I'm sitting here waiting for your work. And we will then go through and I will give you some feedback on it. So pause the slide, get down the 4 areas that I want you to cover, and including all the subsections so you know what you're doing. This is probably going to take you more than the rest of the 50-minute lesson. However, I am really conscious that we haven't set any homework this week and you are going to have 2 weeks holiday, so this is a little bit of homework as well. Right, move on. So that's us finished respiration and metabolism. We're going to move on to doing our end of unit quiz. Now, we looked at how we could do this using the caboodle test, but it wasn't that easy and it required a whole new dimension to emailing on to another platform. So what I want you to do is answer the following questions. There are a number of points associated with each question, so make sure that you've written enough points to get all of the marks available. Pause the slide now. Right, so now mark your work. Mark it to ensure that you can give yourself a grade, please. See how well you've done. So now work out your overall grade, comparing your number of marks to the grade boundaries below. Have a lovely Easter, and I look forward to receiving your work. Goodbye.